What is going on, everyone? It's Yuval here. Today I want to teach you guys how to grow your filmmaking or photography business and actually start making money. So in the last couple of months, I've been working really hard to make my business profitable and to get to call this my full-time job, doing filmmaking and photography. So now I want to show you guys how you could do it too. So before you do anything regarding your business and getting paid with your work, it's pretty obvious, but you need to have good photos or good videos. No one's really gonna take you seriously or hire you, at least for a fair amount of money, unless you are really good at what you're doing. So first, focus on really becoming an expert at what you do. And you don't have to be like the best out there, but you need to get to some base level where your stuff looks good and people would actually want to hire you. So number one thing for starting your business is having a portfolio. You need to have photos or videos that you can show your clients. So when building your portfolio, and this is a pretty controversial topic, in my personal opinion, you should do jobs for free or take on jobs that pay less than you would like to be paid. Because when you're just starting out, that's really your only way to be creating stuff and be creating connections with people. So I would advise that when you're starting out, do stuff for free, do collabs, take on jobs for less money, and really do everything in your power to build up that portfolio so that you have high quality content to show your next potential clients. So in my opinion, the best place to have a portfolio on is your own website. Having a super professional, high quality place to showcase all of your best work is really essential. A website that is built correctly and looks beautiful will always stand out and just look professional, and that will have the best chances of actually getting your client to hire you. So you could basically hire someone to make a website for you, or you could use Squarespace or Wix, which are sites that make it very easy for you to create a website and you don't have to pay that much. Personally, I use Squarespace and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, for me, having a website is super important and is a big key. So the second thing you're gonna have to do, if you're not doing it already, is posting your stuff like everywhere. Facebook, on WhatsApp groups, on Instagram, wherever you can. People need to know that you are creating photos, that you are doing videos. People need to know about you. They need to know what you're all about. They need to know that you are doing this, because otherwise, how is anyone gonna know that you're providing this kind of service? And in my experience, you should probably post most of what you're doing, even if it's not paid work. I mean, even if you go out to some kind of an adventure with your friends and just make a fun little video, then you should post it, because you never know. Someone might see it and really like it and then be like, hey, I'm having a wedding in 6 months. Do you do weddings? Or maybe someone who owns their own clothing line is gonna see that video and be like, wow, that would be perfect if you could make something like that with showcasing my clothes and make this an ad. So you should always be posting and letting people know that you're active, that you're producing content, and really show them what you're all about. So the next thing is gonna be connections. And this is a big one, guys. It's all about connections. I think like 90% of my work probably has come through people I know, people I've connected with on social media, on the streets, friends of friends. You always need to build your connections. You always need to be getting to know more people, building your connections, building your client base. This is super important. Probably the best place to find connections is social media. So that kind of relates to the previous point of always posting your stuff, because that way you can always connect with people and maybe they like your video and they send you some question about it. Like, man, where did you get those sound effects? What kind of LUT were you using? And basically you need to socialize with those people and always, just get to know more people, get to be friends with more people, and that's generally gonna build you some connections, and eventually some opportunities gonna come through these connections. If you see people who are producers, who are content creators, anything that you might be interested in, just get on it, like their stuff, comment, DM them, ask them to meet over coffee. Do whatever you can to build those connections, because again, you just never really know. So maybe you've added this guy on Facebook who does amazing commercials, and then you post your stuff, and then he gets to know what you're doing, and in 3 months time maybe he needs an assistant, or maybe he was offered a job and he's not available, so now you're getting that job. So it's all about connections everywhere, social media, on the streets, on shoots that you're doing. Just always be friends with everyone and make sure everyone knows what you're doing. So in my opinion, you should take on all kinds of different jobs, even if it's like not exactly what you imagine yourself doing in like 1 or 2 or 5 years from now. Because taking on those small jobs, you never know where it's gonna get you. Maybe you did some kind of nightclub video for that guy, and maybe he knows another guy who needs someone to shoot a wedding film for him, or an advertisement for some company. You really never know where these things are gonna get you. All you're doing is building connections and expanding your reach, basically. Plus you get to actually do this for money, and unfortunately that's how you're gonna have to do it when you're just starting out. So my 5th and final tip is gonna be your attitude. When doing these videos or photos, when taking on jobs, you have to be professional, you have to be friendly, you have to basically present yourself in a good way. You have to be someone who's fun to work with, someone who your client would basically want to have work for him again. Plus, if you're really easygoing and funny and making friends easily on set, then it's always gonna get you some new friends, some new connections. It's always gonna lead you down a good path. So always make sure your behavior is on point. Be professional, be fun to work with, be nice to people, be genuinely interested in the project that you're doing and in the people who are involved in all this. This is very important. And lastly, a bonus tip for you guys is to never let people exploit you, because there are gonna be a lot of people who are gonna try to do that. Sadly, that's a lot of the times the case with this kind of freelance work. So people are basically going to try to not pay you, make you work more than what you guys agreed upon. They're gonna want you to do a million of things for them without really caring about you. So that's not always the case, of course, but in my experience that can happen a lot, especially to beginner photographers. So always make sure you're standing on your own 2 feet. Always stand your ground and don't let people run all over you, because you're definitely gonna try to do so. And on that note, you should always be trying to work with contracts, because then you're really protected from anything that they might try to do. They might try to not pay you, or they might try to pay you less than what you agreed upon in the beginning, or whatever. If you're working with a contract, it's much easier to get what you were promised and really make sure that everything works out. I have definitely made this mistake when I started out, and I got a hell lot of problems because of it. Some people still owe me money to this date, so definitely try to do everything as legally as possible and just try to protect yourself the best that you can in order to avoid these ugly situations. So I really hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope you can finally start making money doing what you love full time, quitting that 9 to 5. If you liked the video, please press the thumbs up and also consider subscribing, because I'm gonna make more videos like this one in the future, and I'm trying to post like once a week, so stay tuned and follow my Instagram page as well. I have some great travel photos and videos. So yeah, that's basically all for today. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.